this half of Mockingjay is really about Katniss discovering what she means to the people of all the districts, and really sort of finally taking on the responsibility in her role in this revolution. And it also gave us a chance to explore the idea of one of the facets of war, which is propaganda, and the manipulation of images and the manipulation of both Peeta and Katniss in that war of the airwaves.
You know, she's in a very different place emotionally at the beginning of these movies. She's the games have completely changed her, so it's not, she's kind of has to totally rebuild herself. So yeah, there wasn't as much action this time, more just kind of her reaction, I guess, to everything.
The thing about dystopia is that what it posits is whether or not we have free will as human beings. And for adolescents in particular, that's a time when that idea is looming pretty large, because you haven't had free will. You know, you're in your parents' house and you're looking to those next few years, you're going to be on your own, and who you're going to be as a human being, what are your moral choices going to be, what are your romantic choices going to be. And so here you have this central character who's trying to decide who she's going to be personally and who she's going to be politically. And it's fascinating. It's really, really wonderful. And then she also, Suzanne Collins also sets up this idea, the difference between what about freedom and totalitarianism, you know, and how you move from one political system to another. I think it's amazing, and obviously speaks, you know, not just to me, but to millions of people, because it's been wildly successful. These are ideas that we all, I think about.
When I first read the script, I truly wanted to be a part of this project so that I could look back at the end of my life, which is pretty close, and say, I was a piece of this. Because for me, how she has presented this dilemma to young people and demanded from them a resolution, demanded from them a participation that could change things, because the world that my generation is leaving everyone is a disaster in every respect, you know, environmentally, politically, socially, economically. So when I read it, I just begged to be a part of it, so that in the hope that it would be a catalyst for young people to get them off the seat of their pants that they've been sitting on for at least 2 generations, doing nothing. That somebody from somebody like Occupy or whomever use these films to generate from young people an energy that will take them into the voting booths in the United States in 2016 and make people responsible, politicians responsible for their words and their actions, to make them represent them. You know, it's, I hope, somehow.
I think the most important thing for me was really empathizing with Peeta and sort of what he had gone through, and just really talking with Francis and really trying to understand what actual tortures went on and what the kind of lies that he's being fed about Katniss and the rebellion, what those were. Understanding that was important for me, and I mean, yeah, that was really it. Just kind of talking with Francis about what Peeta went through, I think was the most important part, in just understanding that.
I don't know. We went about it in a similar way, where I read what's going on. I talk to Francis about it. We show up on set and then we try something. I mean, technically that's how it was done, but you know, I feel like I've said it a million times, and but it's still the same. You know, Katniss is completely stripped down and is in a completely different place emotionally at the beginning of these films, and kind of has to rebuild to get back to the Katniss that even I know from the other 2 films. And that doesn't happen until, you know, halfway through the movie, but until then she doesn't really know who she is. So kind of playing the same character that people recognize, but that's, I know, but it's very different, and yeah.